This is a homework assignment for lesson 58, where we're going to be looking at displaying weather changes or pressure changes on an OLED display and how pressure affects the weather. So first we're going to look at what the weather's doing right now. Since the 20th, we have our BMP 180. It's been outside there doing pressure changes, looking at the pressure since the 20th of February. And the trend's been fairly flat, pretty constant, until just about yesterday. We had this little, you can barely see it, this little slide in pressure. Amplify that out and look at that. And that started on the 4th of March at 8 a.m. We started to have this pressure drop, which brought us rain. So we have rain today, and that's one of the effects of ways to determine how the weather changes is it's led by pressure drop that brought the rainy weather. Here we have temperature changes. These are the day highs, the high peaks, and you have the low peaks or the nighttime lows. And right now we're 29.97, which is right on money with the weather forecast or the actual weather. At the San Jose airport, we're fairly near that airport and about the same elevation. And you see they're showing the same trends. So our BP 180 is doing its job. It's a fairly accurate sensor, and it's right along with the weather report. But we're going to look at this little slide here and see if our OLED followed that. Okay, well, we're looking at the OLED. It's kind of trending the same, fairly flat with a little tail at the end. So it's pretty true to what we were seeing on the computer coming from our BMP 180. This yields a better look at the OLED display. Data's coming in a little faster than it was with the previous data that we were looking at, the real-time data from the pressure, which has been pretty stable over the last 7 days. But this just demonstrates the ability of the OLED display a graph. It's pretty good. We'll reset it here. We'll start it again. And we're just sending it some random pressure readings. And it's rolling them off from right to left. The top of the range would be 3100 or 31.00 and 2800 at the bottom side. And scrolling off now. And there you have it for lesson 58. And here we'll go over the code quickly. We have our includes. We have some variables we need to define. We're going to start our timer. We're going to need a timer because we're going to need to do our line writing every 11 minutes, so we can't just rely on delays. So we're using a timer called the timer, which is run off of mills. We're setting up our add a fruit display. We're sending an initial message to the display. We're looking to make sure that the BMP 390, we're actually using a BMP 390 here because my other BMP 180 is outside taking live readings. This sensor also has a number of built-in sampling and filters, so it smooths out the data internally. We're going to start our timer. It's going to give us our 11-minute time to run our function to do our lines and set up the graph. We're going to get ready to set up the call for the read from our BMP. Have some other functions here. We have our demo. This is what we used, the demo line, and when we're normal, just standard line, main line, we'll uncomment that. The last thing we ran was a demo. Okay, print monitor, and then we're going to go in the actual routine that draws our rolling graph. Essentially what we're doing, we have row and column. This is your column rows. What we're doing is we're starting out writing your first line for the first pressure, and we're going to store those in these arrays, and as we shift over from right to left, we're going to just shift over the prior readings and write the new. Prior readings move over, write the new.